People you didn't know that were rejected to be on Love and Hip Hop. Gucci Mane and Keisha were approached to be on Love and Hip Hop Miami, the very first season. Allegedly, they turned it down because they wanted their own show, and because they didn't want to be tied to the entire cast, and because they wanted more money, and BET was going to offer them way more money, so they chose to have a wedding special on BET than being on Love and Hip Hop Miami, which, good for y'all. Phaedra was approached after her very first season on The Real Housewives of Atlanta premiered, and they're like, we want her to be on the show. They tried to poach her, but Phaedra said, no, I'm going to stay on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I make good money here. Why would I leave there to go on your show? Which, Phaedra won on that one, because I would have left Real Housewives of Atlanta to be on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Like, girl, she did it right. And it's funny because K. Michelle ended up being on Real Housewives of Atlanta anyway, so Toya and Memphis were offered to be on season 4 of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Allegedly, Rashida was supposed to be filming a lot more with Toya and Memphis, but because they were no longer there, instead we got the storyline of Rashida and Kirk and the lesbian artist that he's working with, Ashley, which is why it was just kind of a all over the place kind of mess, and it was just like kind of flat. Karrueche was interested to be on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood the very first season, offered to be part of it, and ultimately she just backed out. Apparently there was a storyline of her working out on her clothing line, but it just did not happen. I don't know why she backed out, but allegedly it's because there was a lot of issues behind the scenes between her and Chris Brown, and she said, you know what, this ain't worth it. But of the people who rejected, who would you have loved to have seen?